Get ready for a fantastic Wednesday afternoon. We are going to do a beautiful skincare routine together. Myself and the amazing woman behind the brand, Telluride Glow. It is one of the most unknown little secrets, if you will. Beautiful, beautiful brand that I absolutely love. And I'm going to bring Alina into the chat right now so we can get going. And I want her to share her beautiful story. And we're going to talk about how you can minimalize skincare. That I happen to have a lot of skincare, steps in my routine, but it doesn't have to be that way. So if you are someone that is looking for excellent skincare that is of the highest quality and integrity, but is really pared down, this is going to be the Instagram live to watch. This is your lucky day. For those minimalists, I got you covered. So let's bring in, let me see, ask to join, Elena. I've got my tea ready. And hi, Elena.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
Good. I'm so good. I'm so glad. Sorry, it was a few minutes late. I was having a little technical difficulty getting everything organized, but I'm here.
Yay! And barefaced like me?
Yes, completely barefaced. I just put on a little face spritz just so, because my skin, I mentioned that to you that my skin, as soon as I get out of the shower, I need to put something on immediately or my skin screams at me.
Yep, so, I had the same experience. So I really had to have some self-restraint because I was like, we're going live, we're going completely barefaced, which, by the way, is probably the best way to go live. Like, don't you just love that?
I love it because, and even my hair's kind of flat. I love it because this is it. Like once you are comfortable enough with going barefaced, the world is your freaking oyster when it comes to just being in front of the camera.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I refrained. I didn't put anything on except for I did put some mascara on, but that is literally
I almost did. I was like,
but I'm coming clean.
Mascara on, but then I didn't. So this is, my lashes are like little. They're like little, but I brushed up my eyebrows. I did my little to give them a little, to make my eyes pop a little bit. But other than that, I have this timeless skincare. It's a Matrixyl cucumber spray that just kind of hydrates a little bit, and that at least kind of gives me a little bit of breathing room until we get started with our routine.
Absolutely. And I was very tempted, but I was like, no, I need people to see actually how dry my skin is. And because once I put product on, I think people are going to be able to see the difference. So I was just like, all right, just hold back. You're going to be able to put some Aspen Dew on really soon. It's going to be okay.
Oh, I love it. I also did a beautiful facial this morning, a facial massage, like 25 minutes of just from the top to the bottom. And it's amazing. It's really amazing what low tech, when it comes to giving yourself a glow and puffiness and a lift, can be. And we're going to talk about that today with our big 6 lymph drainage.
Absolutely.
In hand with the skincare. So I'm thinking, I guess to start this off, for those of you out there who have never had the privilege of trying Telluride Glow or any of their products at all, why don't you give us a short little version of why you started this brand? And
Yeah, so actually I'm a lucky Telluride Glow fan myself. The founder is Mary Alice. She actually came up with these formulations after spending a lot of time living at altitude in Telluride, Colorado. And she noticed just the extreme effects the climate was having on her skin, exacerbating dryness, intense UV exposure. And she was not able to find anything on the market that worked. She went to without saying any names, all of the, usual suspects, top of the line skincare brands, and nothing was really working to repair her skin and revitalize her glow. So she spent about 3 years working with a microformulator to come up with what is today Telluride Glow, our formulations. And in 2022, she handed over the reins to Telluride Glow, and that's when I came on. And I've been a huge fan myself. So it's kind of easy for me to talk about how effective it is, using it regularly. And the beauty about the brand is, besides the fact that the ingredients are completely clean, I mean, we just go above and beyond. We do third-party laboratory testing, which is an additional layer above what's actually required. We make sure that we source everything ethically from sustainable farms. Every one of our ingredients is just like vetted beyond. So it's just a really beautifully sourced product, but also what's unique about it is the alpine ingredients, right? And so what's cool about alpine plants, and I can kind of geek out on this a little bit, is that because they're growing in these more extreme, harsh climates where same as, you know, higher elevation UV exposure, they have adapted to create higher concentrations of these phytonutrients than plants that grow at lower elevations. So actually, when you take, let's say you take calendula, for example, grown at altitude versus calendula just grown at sea level, they're going to have a higher concentration of actives in there naturally. And that's kind of what the idea behind Telluride Glow was, to harness the power of these alpine plants and alpine adaptogens into a skincare formulation so that we can help, you know, get healthy, glowing skin naturally and take advantage of the beautiful, kind of translating the beauty from the landscape to our skin.
So I'm curious, are there that many brands that do this type of plant ingredients? I mean, I know there's, you know, a sea of skincare out there,
Yeah.
but this doesn't seem to be something that is talked about or on the label of any that I've come across.
Yeah. So there's a handful, you know, and so the plants themselves are called extremophiles because they thrive in extreme climatic conditions.
Okay.
So there are other extremophiles in different climates, not just in alpine climates. And there are definitely a handful of other indie brands that I know of that are, you know, trying to do the same thing with a similar ethos, but there's not a lot of us. And part of that is just because with anything, the quality, maintaining a certain level of quality, it just becomes more difficult to do when you scale up. So bigger brands, they're just not using the same level of actives, the same amount of actives, or I should say concentration of actives. So ours are very condensed serums. So a little goes a long way. They're not watered down, so to speak.
Got it. And then obviously I would think that comes into play as far as cost and pricing for,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, ingredients that you put in the skincare.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You mentioned how much more antioxidants that are in these kind of, you know, more stress-induced plants, if you will. Are there studies on that showing the benefit on the skin?
Absolutely.
With that?
Yeah. So one of my favorites to highlight is Edelweiss, which is indigenous more to, you know, eastern parts of Europe, but also Austria and Switzerland. Edelweiss has been studied extensively, and it really shows in laboratory testings like increased cell turnover rate in addition to a host of other benefits. So, I mean, that's just a Google search away, really, to find out more. But if you look at our ingredient deck, I mean, every single botanical that we chose was with intention. There's nothing in there that we didn't think about.
Lovely. Well, you have a small but mighty 4-piece set. I mean, that, you know, sort of set, that's like your whole product line
Yeah.
is your lovely mask, which I've tried a sample of that, the snow mask, I believe. And then you've got the, the 3 different serums.
Right. Yeah. So that was also by design. And there's like a sea of skincare products out there that you can try. And the idea behind Telluride Glow was really to pare down your skincare routine so that it was easy to do. And if you're like me, who's kind of a minimalist, I like to be able just to put on what I need to put on in a short amount of time and go about my day. I want to be able to walk out the door. I don't always wear makeup. Sometimes I do, but I don't have time. As luxurious as it sounds in my mind to do a 12-step routine, to date, I have never had time to just, do that. And so that was definitely with intention to kind of make everyone's life easier.
I love that. But without, what I love is that it's a pared down, very quick routine, but you aren't missing any of those rock star ingredient experiences that your skin could benefit from, which is
Exactly.
different
Yeah.
than throw on a serum and your moisturizer and you're out the door. Again, it's the intention and the powerful ingredients within that make this a really kind of high level, minimalist skincare routine. With
Yeah. And the product that I mentioned at the beginning of the live, the Aspen Dew, it's really like 6+ products rolled into one. You could eliminate 6 bottles in your vanity with this one single product. And the beauty is, you know, the quality of those ingredients that are in there. So for example, and we have aspen bark extract in there that is for brightening, and it has salicin in there, and it's also toning. Then we have a dew bean, which is a botanical retinol alternative, which helps promote, cell turnover. Because as we get older, our collagen and elastin starts to get a little bit slower. We've got Edelweiss, which I spoke about earlier, but also has a tremendous amount of vitamin C, like 5 times more than an orange, for example. You have micromolecular hyaluronic acid, which is just a smaller molecular size, so it can penetrate more deeply, and that's very hydrating. Niacinamide. I mean, the list goes on. There's basically like
and
6 different things.
it's interesting you say that, because obviously I'm a massive fan. I'm going to share my story of like why I love your brand so much and how it touched me in such a special way. Is that I didn't even realize, I know I read the ingredients, but hearing you say that, I don't think that's even showcase. I think you should showcase that more of you just named like the rock star ingredients that are individually purchased much of the time as that, ever growing set on your countertop in your bathroom.
Yeah.
That I think if people really understood even more so, breaking that down a little bit more often on in your social media is a good idea, because I didn't even realize that. Like hearing you say, I see the label, but hearing you say it, I'm like, wow.
You're right, Vanessa. That is on my list. And I have this like vision sometimes of, and I'm going to do this after this live. Okay. So you guys have to all hold me accountable. I'm going to put together like the 7 products, the single ingredient products that you would have to purchase in order to even remotely begin to get to what you would get with the Aspen Dew.
I love that. And also oftentimes brands will put in, and this is across the board, I don't care if we're talking supplements or skincare, is that they will throw in the kitchen sink and you will see this label and you'll say, wow, this is amazing. But how often, and they don't always disclose this, oftentimes they don't, how much of the ingredient is in there that's actually at the efficacy level for the skin, for the supplement, etc. So I think that's a really important differentiation than just having a list of like, these are all things included, but how much is,
Yeah, sorry, you're breaking up just a little. Okay, there we go.
Better?
Yeah, and you know, just, I mean, most people here are probably pretty savvy already, but for those of us, you know, who don't know this, technically, when you flip over and you look at your ingredient deck on any skincare that you go and purchase, the ingredients are listed in order of concentration, starting with the highest concentration at the top. So as you're working your way down, oftentimes you'll see brands, they'll be touting a hero ingredient. Let's say, I don't know, squalane, okay? And you're reading it and you're like, you know, caprylic, you know, and
Bottom.
sunflower seed oil and castor oil, and you just keep going. And then somewhere down there towards the middle slash end is your squalane. Well, at that concentration, I can already tell you, like, it's not really doing that much.
Exactly. You know, it's like when I was teaching in the health and wellness world, and I was teaching people how to read labels, and I would say they'd have these ingredients, and it would be sugar, like 8 different ingredients, you know, different sugar types named,
Oh,
and then at the very bottom it might say grain, or you know, it's just like this is sugar. This is a box of sugar, you know, with a
right.
sprinkle of, you know, of the grain, or you know, of corn, or whatever it is.
Or whatever.
So that's the
Yeah.
right. And what I didn't mention at the beginning, we're going to be giving away a bottle of the Aspen Dew at the end. So you guys stick around, because this is incredible. Like I want to say, we're going to start with our skincare so we can get our skin can feel this love. But
Yes.
the product, when I first tried out your brand, oh gosh, I don't know how long it's been now. It's been almost a year or longer. And I got the products, and I kind of waited a little bit. And then I had a Sunday self-care. Remember, I did a Sunday self-care. I'm like, I'm going to try this out. And I tested it live, made a little video about it. And I was so taken aback. I think the initial, it was the scent.
Yeah.
The scent is, it is so unique. It is so decadent. It feels like a warm blanket. It feels luxurious. It kind of pulls at the heartstrings a little bit. That can kind of make me feel a little weepy in a good way. You know, it's amazing what scent does. So that was the very first thing I noticed is like, wow, this is something that I have not smelt anywhere before, but it's intoxicating in such a lovely way. And then obviously I put the product on, and how it felt on my skin. It also, as I was using the products, just that smell, it was as if I was putting on essential, beautiful, high quality essential oil, having that smell, that whole experience. It wasn't just as if I put on skincare. It was as if I had taken a beautiful, you know, meditation session, if you will, or a spa session. It gave that experience that I also mentioned to you actually just the other day, that there are three products of 3 brands over the hundreds that I have been fortunate enough to try, or even more through the years, that have left that mark on me. And
wow.
One of the 3 brands that have, you know, they 2 other brands that each have a product that has a similar kind of a feeling, if you will, yet each unique. And so I wanted to showcase that, because there is something to be said about not just having skincare, but if you can have skincare that also gives you a beautiful experience every time you use it, and not just a experience on the skin, but a sensory, something that also brings calming and peace to, which sounds like a very tall order for a bottle of skincare product. But I can say, and that's what Telluride Glow does. And I want to share that with others. I'm sure your raving fans of your product will will say the same thing. It really is, to me, I think I also told you, I said, I believe this is a product that should be like at really luxury high-end spas. You would get at that experience, or a super high-end hotel. You would have that. It just has that kind of, it belongs there because it has that beautiful experience.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. That means a lot.
It's very true. It's very true. and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I defy anyone to use this product and not say, and not be touched in some way, their own unique experience, but it's the scent. So tell me, well, what are we going to put on first? And then I want you to break down why I love this so much.
Okay.
Which one shall we start with? Because we have three products.
Let's start with the Aspen Dew. We're talking about it, and it actually is the one that does go on first.
Okay, let me put on my little headband.
So I have a fresh bottle for myself right here. I'm very excited too. Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
My little headband, I got them in all different colors. I'm like, okay, I'll wear red.
Fantastic.
All right.
So the first thing that people, even our customers sometimes don't know is you want to give it a little shake.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, see, you learn something every time. Okay.
And then, so you really only need, and
yeah,
just
exactly. I would say the first step is shake, and then
just inhale deeply.
Yes.
Absolutely. So then, depending on, really less is more. Like our whole philosophy is less is more. You don't need a lot. But if you're like me, sometimes I can be a bit of a maximalist. You only need one pump. If your skin is really parched, you can do two. It's okay.
And then is that
so
your neck and décolleté? Because I like to bring the
yes.
This is the tip, everyone. And I was chintzy and skimpy for years with my skincare. I was so cheap that I only did it on the face.
Right.
And avoiding the neck and décolleté, ignoring it because I didn't want to. I was cheap. I'm just telling you. And I realized that your face from here, your whole body, but let's just talk the face, neck, and décolleté, and the back of the hands.
Yes.
That as one unit.
Really?
One needs to, your whatever you're putting on your face, ladies, trust me, because this is the first place to show your age, just to have the less than lovely appearance of skin. Don't just stick here. You gotta bring it down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we often forget and kind of neglect the whole neck area, and our décolleté, but really we're getting just as much. And this is another tip. If you apply SPF, bring it all the way down. Keep on going. Make sure you get, everywhere that's exposed, that's not going to be covered by clothes. So same rule with skincare. So you want to apply it all the way down. So give it a little shake, and then I will, let's see if I can get it in front of the camera. I'll just do a squirt or two. Like I said, sometimes I can get, and then I just put it between my fingers like this.
Okay.
And then I start to press it into just the areas.
It feels so good.
I know.
Oh, it's got this cool, cool, wet, lovely. I love the texture.
And it smells so great too.
Well, so tell us, when I sent you that message and said, oh my God, the smell, tell us, what is that secret scent that just I fell madly in love with?
Okay, the secret scent. Well, it's a combination. But really what you're getting hints of in this is cloudberry, the edelweiss, and a little bit of vanilla. I'm going to put more on because today my skin is really that dry. This is a tip. Don't put your face under a hot shower head.
And I did that today, and then I finished it off with cold, but generally I never do that because it also, I have some rosacea that's mostly under control. In the summertime, it definitely comes out because the heat just brings it out. But I know, and if you've got dry skin like me, it's not your friend at all, that water.
So you can get your lips too. The only place I would not necessarily go, just because the skin is so delicate, is directly under the eyes. Oh. I mean, I do, but just, to be on the safe side. And then I know.
It's so lovely.
We're going to take a moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're, ladies, when you're doing, and gentlemen too, when you're doing your skincare, don't think of it, try to take out the mindset, this is something I have to do and just rush through it. Use that time for yourself. People always say, I don't have any time for self-care. I don't, this is the time you can, say multitask, if you will, of when you're doing this, is you're giving yourself love, is you're,
Mhm.
I love you, doing the affirmations of like, you are so beautiful. I love
Yeah.
you. How are you doing today, skin? I mean, it sounds so silly and so childlike, and it's a beautiful practice.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sneak in the love that our body, our mind, our soul craves to do it when we're doing our skincare. Look
Yeah.
at
Look at
lovely.
that. I know.
I
And
love
I
it.
should have done a close up, but you can already
I can
tell.
tell. Oh,
So
yeah. Oh,
let's seal it in now that we have the Aspen Dew on, because what I want to do is I want to still have it be a little bit tacky
okay.
before I apply. So a serum. We have two. We
Okay.
we have the Purest, which is for people who have delicate reactive skin. Exactly. It also comes in I'm super excited about this travel size, by the way, because it fits in my purse and my pocket. I take it everywhere.
And so tell us about this. So is this a kind of its own version, but yet this is what someone would use instead of this if they have more reactive skin or
Right.
have sensitivity to maybe essential oils or things like that. So they're
Exactly. So
so you're not getting any less, you're getting different. If you've got someone, so you don't think like, oh, I can't use this because no, they've created something equally as lovely with with intention for a more gentle skincare routine for those who need it.
exactly. So the real main difference is they're both full of actives. They're both antioxidant rich. They both perform at the same level. The main difference is that there are people who have reactive skin who cannot do any type of essential oils in their skincare. And I'm a huge lover of the aromatics from essential oils,
Mm.
but we wanted to have an option for people who had more sensitive skin. And so I actually use the Purest in the morning, and then I use the Alpine in the evening. And the reason is because of the aromatics in the Alpine. I just love that right before bed kind of calming, soothing, aromatherapeutic component of it.
It brings me to an issue with my skin. I had a really bad dermatitis breakout about within the last year, I believe it was. And I was allergic to something, and literally my lips swelled up, and this whole area was extremely sensitive and, had just raw and awful. And it took me some time to kind of heal that. And this has always been a more sensitive area for me. Even if I'm using like a tretinoin or anything, I stay clear of this. But this would be, there's a lot of other women that have had a similar situation. I have also been known to spot treat. So I will put on, like in the evening, I will put on my, certain serums that I will do here, but this area is the most gentle of. So that would be a good, if someone else is like that, where you've got a patch or an area that
Mm-hmm.
that is, if it's not like a whole face issue, which is interesting that happens, but it does.
It really does. And that's actually a secret tip to the Purist. And another reason why I really like this size format is because I can I can literally just titrate like one drop, and I can put that under my eyes because
Okay.
there is no essential oils, right? So now I put too much under here, but
Yeah, like I think my daughters both have really, they have dealt with acne. One is, well, they're both getting better, but have very sensitive skin, especially my middle daughter. And I'm thinking that the
that's
Pure
for her.
something that's great. Again, if you got really acneic skin or that
Exactly.
gets irritated.
Exactly. And anyone who their skin barrier's been compromised, like let's say, you just went through like laser treatment, or you've had a peel and your skin is just more sensitive in that moment in time, because we all can kind of go through different seasons, if you will, with our skin. So if your skin, let's say you had, you know, I don't know, a chemical peel or whatever, and you really need to stay away from anything that could potentially cause irritation, you would want to go with the Purist, just to be on the safe side. So
Okay,
so
so
let's put some on.
yes, so this is the Alpine Phytonutrient Serum.
Yes, let's do the Alpine.
The lovely scent, different,
Yeah.
but it's also equally lovely. It's lavender, right?
Yeah, it's got lavender and rose in there. So I do one pump. You don't need to shake this one, but
Oh.
if you want to, if it helps you to remember. And then I do exactly what you just did.
Gotta do that.
Oh, and it smells so good.
Allow you to not do that. This is such a lovely product that it will just like pull you in because it smells so good. And I love this has an oil texture, very light, but just so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I feel like I just went to a facial, like I just had. That's the experience. That's the beautiful experience. Oh,
It does. We get that. One woman, Isabel, she said to us, it's like having a spa day every day. I just thought that's the best.
I know.
That's the best compliment.
It is. And it's such a, you know, the to me, taking the time and, you know, putting your money into products that really do give you that beautiful experience. It's like buying flowers for yourself every week. You know, when you're at the grocery store, there's just something so lovely about it. And, you know, I think your price points are great for what's in there. But I also think too that, you know, as you mentioned, a little goes a long way. So there's, you know, I'm curious because I think a lot of people want to know this. So if you're using this every day and you're as direct, like with the pump, how long should that last you? If this is your, you know, this is your whole skincare routine, you aren't using other products, but this is kind of you're using this in the morning and the evening, how long should an average set last?
So an average set has 120 pumps per bottle. So it should last you 2 months.
Okay.
If you're using it twice a day, that would be a pump of each, the Aspen Dew and the Alpine in the morning, and then again in the evening before bed. It'll last you 2 months. Now, it depends too how, you know, if you use it more frequently. Some people like to reapply in the middle of the day. You don't need to because it really does last quite a long time. But generally anywhere from 2 up to 3 months.
Okay. Well, I think that's great to know. I think especially, you know, they're in this day and age, people are budgeting. And so I think that, especially if we're talking about minimalist routines, that also kind of, you know, looking like, okay, I don't think we always think that. We look at a price of whatever the product is and we think of the immediate, but we have to look at the, okay, how long will this last me? When will I have to repurchase another time? You know, I think when you look at it that way, it also makes things a lot more affordable and yeah.
It does. I mean, if you're going through an entire bottle in a month,
You're too much. You're using too much.
You might be using too much. But hey, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's fine too. I mean, listen to your skin.
Right. So we obviously, I like to use, you know, an eye cream and a face cream and then a sunscreen on top of that. Obviously, you know, I'm being honest here. This, you know, my skin at this point feels great. Like I don't need any other product.
Right.
This, you know, this could be out the door and you're good to go. If you that also, you know, again, lives in a really dry climate, but or wants to have the additional products you can use.
So if you want to, yeah, you can put an additional moisturizer that you love, but you don't need to. The one thing, of course, would be SPF.
Okay. And then something else I've done with different products that I really love is that if you are going, this is also kind of a way to make it last a little bit longer, but I think gives a beautiful experience, is if you are someone that, you know, always uses a traditional cream moisturizer after their serums.
Mm-hmm.
So this acts has its own moisturizer, is a single pump into, or here even half a pump into your moisturizer and mixing it together gives, if you love that glass dewy look, that also gives you a beautiful coverage as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would recommend, if you do that, if you double up in that way, which is a great way to do it, give your skin a couple minutes if you're going to apply makeup, just to make sure everything gets fully drawn into your skin and that you don't have any slip.
Got it.
Pro tip.
I like that slip. I have to say, like I've gotten to where I really appreciate the. I feel like my skin does better when I do if I put my skincare on and I wait too long in between that before applying foundation, then it's not as dewy, it's not as glidey. So I guess it depends on you want it to set in, but I think there's that kind of the fine line. I think that there's definitely a difference for if you're going to put your skincare on and then go on, you get a beautiful coverage. And I think that's something else that I love that I want to share is I don't get any peeling, which is a very common question. And it's an issue because of the active ingredients in a serum. And if you're layering to, usually 2 to 3 max, if you do any more than that, you're setting yourself up to have that peeling aspect, either even without putting makeup on, but especially putting makeup on. There's nothing worse. You've put all your skincare on, you go to do your makeup, and then you're putting on and you get this.
It kind of piles like it. Yeah, you get those little balls where the foundation just kind of clumps.
These have never caused that for me. So I love and appreciate that about well.
I haven't had that issue myself using our line either, and I know certain products contain, certain foundations contain silicone, and while that's can be great for smoothing, sometimes with certain products they don't play together very nicely. Let's put it that way.
So you have one, before we do the big 6, which is our lymph drainage, you have one other product I don't have in front of me, but it's the snow mask.
Yes, snow rose mask.
Mask. So you want to give a little highlight. It's a lovely little powder mask that you mix with water.
Absolutely, yeah. So I really like to use that one as an exfoliant. I think let me see if I can grab.
Great. It is so lovely. It's like a little facial. I like to use it. I like to use the snow rose mask, put it on, and then go take the shower after you've put it on, and let it sit for a couple of minutes and shower it off. And it's really lovely.
So here it is. And let me see if I can angle it. It's kind of hard because it's blowing out. It's like a pink color.
I love that it's powder too, because I feel like just also the lasting, that it's not wet, the oxygen exposure every time you open up, that it's a fresh.
Yeah, lasts a long time. So that's one of the beauty of having a mask as opposed to so there's no preservatives in this, which you have to have with any kind of a wet formulation.
Okay, interesting. But it's absolutely lovely. So are there any other products in the works at this point, or are we just at this point happy and
I will say more on that. Yes, definitely. And I can't say too much about it, but that's all I can share right now.
Okay, well, that's good. That is good to know, because it is really so lovely. So let's do, before we wrap up, I would love, you asked me the other day and I was like, I do that every day. Let's do the, when it comes to skincare, I talked about how, just doing your self massage. Everyone, there's a lot of women that love to do the gua sha. There's all these different beauty devices, but this low tech, using our is incredibly powerful, and something that is so overlooked and so underrated, but so powerful that I would invite everyone to adopt this little routine that we're going to do. It's so quick. And it's not even, for your skin, for your whole body, whether you're a man or a woman, like this to me should be in your health and wellness toolbox, because because it's that powerful. And it's where, you know, in our lymph, everything gets stuck. I mean, if we've got, and there's lymph, different areas in the body where the lymph can gather. So we want to release that from toxins, from puffiness, from, you know, anything lurking in the body, just to help everything flow better.
Yeah.
And when those areas of the body aren't flowing well, then that's when things start going sideways, either, you know, superficially or internally in the body.
Yeah. And Vanessa, I don't know if you said this already, but because there was a little bit of static or interference, but I just found this out the other day, and I feel like I should have known this, but did you know that a third of all your lymph all the lymph nodes in your body are actually right here in the neck? A third.
I didn't know a lot. I also know, like, underneath the, you know, the armpit area, because you think, right, because you think about that with breast cancer.
Yeah.
It is very, very common that it's even in the lymph nodes, and or even just cancers in general.
Yeah.
They will go when they get, and I, you know, from what I understand, when it gets into the lymph nodes, it's like the kiss of it's a kiss of death. Like, it is really not good when it gets into the lymph nodes. So we just want to make sure that we're, you know, that area, those channels in the body are, you know, released and flowing beautifully.
Yeah. Should we do our big six?
Yeah, let's do our big six. So let me see down so you can kind of see what let's go to. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start here.
Yep.
Okay.
So how did you learn it? So I'll follow along with you.
Actually, I learned it. I learned it from a gal that I'm doing a program with. I'd heard it before, but I really started consistently doing it with this. I learned it a long time ago, but started recommitting myself to it. I'm in a program that I absolutely love with Anastasia. She does a fascia. It's a whole, you know, program for kind of lifting the face and just tightening and toning, which is beautiful. And so it's part of our routine in that as well. So I'm like, okay, I knew this before, now I'm making a commitment to it. So it's the, you know, she generally uses a metronome, so you get that boom, 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 the timer that it keeps you on time. What you're going to do is we're going to be doing, it'll be 10 times each, and then so it'll be, for this one, we'll start with, whoever wants to do it, you guys just sit down, stand too, I guess. And we're going to start here. I'm trying to get where you can see because there's my chest. So right there. And we're going to swipe 10 times, and then we're going to pat 10 times. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And then we're going to do the neck, where we're going to go down 10 times. We're going to pat 10 times. Then we're going to go back, do this 10 times, and this 10 times. We're going to do the tummy. We're going to do the groin area, behind the knees, and then a little bouncing.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's get this party started. For the lymph, this is the big six. Okay. We're going to start with 10 rubs this way. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Back of the neck. So 1, 2, just taking the fingers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tap 10 times. It's not hard. It's just a gentle. It's just, you're not putting a lot of pressure. You don't need a lot to make it, you know, to have a big effect. 10. Okay, then we're back here for 10. 1, 2.
I love that you do this too.
Other side. I've learned to multitask this. I'll do it walking around the house. I'm supposed to sit still, but sometimes when time is short, I'll do it more than once. But we should be doing this every day, you guys.
I just did it this morning while I was walking.
I did too. So now I'm going to stand up. I'm going to show you. We're going to do the tummy. Make sure my robe doesn't get pulled off. And we're going to do tummy, and we're going to go side to side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we go up and down. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then tap 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we would start. I've got to back up here.
How are we going to do this one? This will be interesting.
We did. Now, right, okay, so here's the groin area. So right at your groin area where your private parts are, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then tap 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do, you're going to take the back, woo, look at my leg. You're going to take the back, right in, like you're just cutting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then snap. You're going to hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to switch over to the other side. So the back of the knee.
We're so synced up, Vanessa.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then snap 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the last one, let me pull you up here. Oh, here, let me see. The last one is we're going to, if you were on I don't think I can do this here. Let me move. You're going to be bouncing. So think about, this is basically like the poor man rebounder, if you will. What you're doing is you're bouncing on your toes, So you're not jumping, you're bouncing. So think about, you're using like your, on your ball of your feet and down, on your ball on your feet and down. So you're doing this, and this is just helping everything move, all the lymph. So up.
So good.
Sometimes I'll lift my hands up so I can just make sure everything is draining.
I have a little personal trampoline that I like to use for rebounding after this.
Yes. So you can do this, I don't know, you can do that for probably 30 seconds a minute of doing the bounce. And that's it.
Oh, I feel better already.
I do too. It's great because for your energy, for your skin. And so with that, it's not, like I said, it's not like it was this exactly the Qigong. They said Qigong has quite very similar moves like this. It is all energy. And that's what I think is so beautiful. I think that we often think that, I know for me, like, oh, it's like a massage. It's got to be deep to do work. It's got to feel it, because I have such tight shoulders and neck that I like things really deep. But the power of gentle, especially when it comes to a lot of different body parts, it is so powerful. It is so powerful that we can do. And you know what we don't do? It was just like when I was saying, when you're doing your skincare, to have that little self-love moment and really take the time and show yourself some love, is that, doing this Big Six is such a loving treatment for the body. We don't touch, how often, with intention, not like I'm putting on my skincare, or I'm doing this, or I'm rubbing the lotion, or I'm getting dressed. How often these days do we
slow down
and also
to do this?
How about just, I want to feel my body.
Yeah.
I want to feel what this feels. When it is such a sensual, lovely, caring thing to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even just, me just doing this with my fingers, just tracing ever so slightly, it feels so lovely.
It's very,
and there's so
comforting.
Very, very comforting. Mm-hmm. So the lymph, the Big Six, that needs to be in your toolbox. That is free.
Yep.
It is one of the most important things you can do, aside from you drinking your water, lots of hydration throughout the day, wearing your mineral sunscreen, which I'm a huge proponent of, and you have got to drain the lymph. Like I said, it is so invaluable, and you can do it. People say, when can you do it? You can do it before exercise. You can do it after exercise. You can't overdo it. I mean, I said, you're not rubbing in. You're just. It's a gentle motion. We're just lovingly inviting the lymph to move, to process through, and it's just a great thing to add. I mean, when you start adding these little techniques here and there, you get big bang for your buck. Again,
Absolutely.
the energy. I mean, look at we got a little glow going on. We got
I know
something.
we have a little Telluride glow going on, and you can do this. The lymph, if you do nothing at all. I was talking to a friend of mine who is a facial rejuvenation specialist who does traditional Chinese medicine, and she was telling me, she's like, if you do nothing at all for your lymph except for stimulating here along the neck, like you can tap your collarbone. It's similar, right? To what we just did, and then you take your two fingers and you do this draining stroke behind the ears. That's it. She's like, just do those two things, and that'll make a huge difference. You won't even believe it. So this is something I love to do when I still have a little bit of slip from my Alpine serum on, or
Yeah, it's so I don't. That's why I say it's the perfect time to do a little self-care. And like I said, I'm a fan. I love the gua sha. I love all those things. But I think that we forget that our fingers and our hands can give us the best benefit, because then you really are feeling what's going on in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is different.
Yep. Oh, that was so fun. I'm so glad we did this.
I loved it. I loved it. So before we close out, like I said, we're giving away one of my favorites, the Aspen Dew, and you kind of got we have a discount code you're offering.
Yes.
For how long is this discount code for? This is
for the next week.
Okay.
And would you like me to share it?
I would love. Yes. What discount can our viewers get when they?
Lovely viewers, as a thank you for attending and joining us today in our little minimalist session here, is you can get 20% off site-wide. Use the code Vanessa20 for the giveaway. If you go into our link in bio and just click on subscribe to our newsletter. And Vanessa, sorry, I think I lost you.
I know. I can hear you, but you were fuzzy a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh no. Love the internet, don't you?
Okay, so for the 20% off, use code Vanessa20, and then for the giveaway, go to link in bio and subscribe to our newsletter and Vanessa.
Okay, so it's Vanessa20 for 20% off, and to enter to win, all you have to do is go to Telluride Glow, to the link in their bio on Instagram, and subscribe to their newsletter, and you will be entered to win one of the beautiful bottles of the Aspen Dew, and it is so worth you entering. Like, this is such a lovely product. I invite you all to experience the Telluride Glow because it is that lovely. So, Alina, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. It was such a pleasure as always. And yes. I just lovely to be on here with you today. And you look radiant.
Thank you. I feel I'm so relaxed. I love it.
I know. Now we can go have we can finish our tea.
Exactly. We can finish our tea. So thank you for tuning in. And if you have questions about anything you have in regards to Telluride Glow, or the big 6 that we worked on for the lymphs, or any skincare tips, please always feel free to reach out to me personally, to Silver Liberation. You can DM me if you like, or leave a comment below. And you can also, if you've got questions specifically about Telluride Glow that you want to ask Alina, leave the comments below, or you can direct message them directly, because
Absolutely.
you will get Alina personally in your, she's the one who answers all the questions. So they have beautiful customer service. And, again, I highly recommend Telluride Glow, beautiful products. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
All right. Take care. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks. You too.
Okay.